Welcome to the Bushido Gang. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Attack on Samurai. It's been a while. It's been a couple months, but I'm back to reporting. So, first off, I just want to say, how are you guys doing? Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are having a great, or just having a good day, or a great night wherever you are. And and yeah, firstly, I would like to apologize. I like to apologize because I have not kept up with you guys in about. I guess it's been. I guess the last time I actually recorded was sometime. Or the last time I uploaded was actually sometime in late December or maybe early December. I don't remember exactly, but I had planned before I took my break to record one more video before the end of the year. But when I was in the process of making that video, my laptop actually crashed. So I ended up losing a lot of my data that I had and a lot of documents I had on my laptop previously. So I ended up getting it cleaned out. So all my data's been removed, or all the data I had on my laptop is gone now, and pretty much just have to start from the ground up. So I've been doing that for the past couple months, and just really focusing on myself as well. Um, I took a break from like Twitter and Instagram and all those things. Mostly Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter like that, but definitely from Instagram and from other sources as well, just to kind of find myself again in that sense. It probably sounds so weird, like so hippie or whatever, but yeah, I just felt like I needed to focus more on myself and also like more on what I need to be, where I need to be going in life right now, because you know, hold on, that's the wrong thing. Also, I'm gonna be drawing today as well. Or I'll be drawing as well with this or on this. So so yeah, I have this drawing I did of Charizard. I drew this sketch a couple days ago, and now I'm actually now it's pretty much done. I'm just coloring it in right now. Um, but uh, but yeah, so I finished this drawing, or I did the sketch a couple. Actually, it was more than a couple days ago. It was probably like a couple weeks ago that I did the drawing for it, but I never actually like digitized it until now. Um, but yeah, so I'm doing it now for you guys. Um, so yeah. But again, let me know in the comments below how you guys have been and just what have you guys been up to over these last couple of months. Um, so, like I said, I have been focusing more on my own life and just trying to figure out where I need to be going right now. Um, and so far, things are kind of getting into place. Um, like, for example, um, I'm still working my two jobs right now that I mentioned previously. The running shoe store that I'm at, and also the performance theater that I work at as an usher. So I'm still doing those things. But recently I got an offer for a teaching job as well. So I'll be teaching art. I'll be teaching graphic design and mixed media art. They also want me to do anime art and comic art as well. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous as hell for it because I when it comes to teaching, um, I think with teaching you have to be very grounded with the kids. You have to be like very grounded and very like direct with them because they won't really understand like what you're trying to say. Um, like just like how you're talking to a regular person or to an adult. I mean, to another adult. So you have to like dumb down things for them so they can actually understand it on their level. Um, so I'll be working with kids from like 8 to 13. So I'll be working with like the middle school kids, which I have done before, but it was very briefly. Uh, Pretty much working at a summer camp as a not a teaching assistant, but like a camp worker or whatever. So I was doing that for a little bit, But it wasn't really teaching or anything like that. It was more just like being there for the kids then. But now I'm taking a position where I'm actually teaching. So, um, and that is scaring the shit out of me because it's again, I've never been put in that kind of environment before or in that kind of position before. So, um, I'm just not really sure how I can I'm not really sure in myself and how confidently I can teach these kids. Because I feel like I have the knowledge to teach them, but I just don't feel like I have the confidence to really go about doing it. Um, but again, teaching for me right now isn't really a profession. It's more like a skill that I'm gaining at the moment because I don't see myself teaching like on a long-term basis. I just, again, like I said, I just see this as more of a learning experience for me. So, my goal, I guess, would be that the kids, that because I'll be working with them during the summer. That for this summer and possibly in the fall as well. Because with this position I applied for, it's also like a fall, or it's also like a school year type of thing. So I'd be working with these kids like even during the school year. So so yeah, I just want to make sure that that I do a good job in giving them skills that they can apply for themselves. Especially when it comes to graphic design, because with graphic design, right, like it's about promoting yourself, like promoting the product that you're selling, um, and doing that, teaching the kids how to do that, I think is going to be a little. It might be difficult for them to grasp that concept, but that's the idea that I have anyway. That's what I want to. I want to teach the kids how to do that. Um, but yeah. So I actually did get an update about the job too. I got an update about the job pretty recently. Cause actually, one, I talked with the director about it, or about the job, and two, I talked to my recruiter about it as well, and we were just discussing about just about the environments of the school and everything. And the cool thing about this job is that I do have options in like how long I want to be teaching, and also in how long, um, also in how I guess if it actually fits my schedule, or if it fits my schedule or not. And so far right now, it doesn't feel like it, but I actually still have free time in a sense. I mean, right now I do because I'm not working at the moment. Like as I'm doing this video, I'm not like at work or anything. I'm actually at home right now. Um, I'm not working until like around 6 or 7 when I have to do when I have to go to the performance theater. Um, but yeah, um, it just it doesn't feel like I have a lot of time, but I still do at the same time. Again, it's just a very weird like I guess thing to say, really. But that's just kind of how it feels right now. Like I feel like I have a lot of time, but I don't at the same time. But anyways, in regards to the job though, again I can fit it to my own schedule. So right now I don't have a job during the day, but since I'll be working in the summer, I'll have time to actually teach the kids, and I'll be able to like just make that time, and also get a little bit of money on the side as well. So uh, that's what I have in mind at the moment. Um, but yeah. Also, again, going back to my break rate, I just needed a break from from Pokemon in general, like Pokemon Showdown, and just like really being on the internet in general, just because I feel like I kind of burned myself out. Um, I really do. I feel like I just kind of burned myself out, so I just needed to take a good pause and just come back. Just come back another time. Come back when I'm ready. Um, when I'm ready to Yeah, just come back when I'm ready and just ready to go, pretty much. You're ready to come back and record. But I know that I definitely wasn't ready, especially when Scarlet and Violet came out. Like I was already like, what's it called? I was already like, I was just already kind of out of it already. Even before the games came out, I was just like, yeah, you know what, I can't do this. But it's also because I was thinking about tour games and other stuff that was going on as well. So that's why I just decided, you know what, yeah, this isn't it. I'm just gonna take a break and yeah. Also, I hope you guys do appreciate this, like, you know, this kind of like cool, like, I don't know if cool is the right word to say, but really just this relaxing kind of drawing vid. Again, I am gonna keep doing these. It doesn't seem like you guys mind it. I did get a comment in one of my videos from one of my subscribers, my boy Sappy. Shout out Sappy. When he had said that, you know, like, my work looks good and everything, and I do appreciate that. I do, but sometimes I do look at my own work and I do think my own work is some shit. I do. I just think, like, man, I could do so much better than this. But then I take a break and I come back and I just think, you know, this doesn't look bad, but it still looks like shit. It's kind of that. I feel like you would call it imposter syndrome, because you. Well, I feel like I'm not doing enough, and I also feel like inferior to others because I don't think that I can do these things because there's someone else better than me at it. And I think that's a very negative way of thinking now than I was thinking before. And I'm just, you know, still working on that, still trying to be confident in what I do and in how I do it. So especially with art, and especially when it comes to teaching too, because, like, I gotta know what, like, if I'm teaching these kids, I have to know what I'm saying. You know, I don't want to just tell them, like, random stuff and then just be like, and then just not really, like, go into detail about it. Or really just be very vague with them. I don't really want to do that. But I'm sure there's a simpler way of doing it to where they can understand everything. But yeah. So going back to my comment on Pokemon Showdown, right? So I am gonna get back into recording that. I have played Scarlet and Violet, the meta, not the game. I don't have the game. I don't have the physical. I don't have, like, a copy of the actual game myself. I'm still debating on getting it still. Like, I still don't have any reason to buy the game right now. I mean, yeah, the DLC's coming out for what's it called? I forgot what the names of the DLC were, but I think it's called, like, the Secrets of Area Zero or something like that. I do want to get the game. I mean, hold on, wait. I'm interested. It looks interesting, and I have heard some positive things about like, the story of the game and all those things. And even competitively, I heard that the timer got fixed, so now the timer is back to what it was pre Gen 7, or actually no, pre Gen 8, with the timer being unlimited, or actually being 60 seconds or 60 minutes. My bad, 60 minutes. So apparently that was something that was fixed, or either that was fixed already, or that was, like, for me, that's, like, modded. I'm not too sure, but from what I heard, it seems like the timer issue is fixed now. So if I wanted to, I could buy the game, play it, and I could actually do online battles with you guys as well. But again, only time will tell, really. Um, and you know, just if I'm still motivated and everything. Um, but yeah. Again, if you guys know more information about that, I'd appreciate that as well. And you can just leave like a comment or something saying, or a comment saying that you want to see me do Wi-Fi battles for Scarlet and Violet, because I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, again, I had a lot of fun doing that back in the day. Uh, back in the day, back in the days of Oras and well, X and Y, Oras, and Gen 7. I definitely had a lot of fun recording my Showdown lives, or recording my battles then, and just playing people online. That was very fun. Um, and even doing online tournaments too was fun back then. So I wouldn't mind getting back into it again. But again, I would need your guys' opinion on that. So ladies and gentlemen, just let me know if you want to see me do Wi-Fi battles again in the comments, and maybe even do a Scarlet and Violet, I don't know, like a walkthrough or something. Or not walkthrough, but like a Let's Play or something. I wouldn't mind. Just let me know. But I'm not going to say it's going to be like a set thing. Or not set thing, but like something that something that I'm gonna go into right away, because there are other games that personally I want to play for myself that I want to get. Like, I still want to get Mario Odyssey. I've been saving from work, but I've been saving mostly for work, just for like other things, like important things that I need to do. But I still want to play games. I still want to play video games. So, I don't know, but I have been thinking about Mario Kart, and maybe getting Mario Odyssey, or even getting that Kirby game. But yeah. For now, again, I'm just gonna chill and just. Actually, you know what? Nah, scratch that. I need to get the new Zelda game. I have to get it. That's like that's priority number one. That actually might be priority number one. Never mind. Fuck Mario. I mean, I love Mario though. Don't get me wrong, but like, Zelda is a priority. Zelda is a priority. I got to see how Tears of the Kingdom, like, how that plays out, because it actually looks really good. I remember when the trailers came out, or the recent ones came out, like the ones that came out earlier in March or late March, where it showed Link's new ability with Ultra Hand and with the fusion shit. I did see people were saying that it looks like glorified DLC, and at first I kind of felt like it was like that at first. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did have some doubts about it, but I think the glorified DLC line is kind of, I don't know, I think that's kind of bullshit. But I'm not gonna say I had my doubts. I'm not gonna say that. Like, I had doubts. I definitely did have some doubts about the game. But after seeing the recent trailer that came out, I am more excited, and I have a reason to get the game now. I mean, I already had a reason to get it, but now I have even more reason to get it. So, see, I'm definitely gonna play Tears of the Kingdom. That's without a doubt in my mind. But yeah. So Scarlet and Violet might have to wait a little bit longer. But yeah. So let's see other things in life. Other things that have been going on in life so far. After taking a break, I mean. So, I realized something very important. It's about relationships, right? I realized that, because I've been talking to a lot of people about this, a couple of my friends and whatnot, just about, like, what is a relationship. Now, or really what relationships mean. And it's just kind of like my own mistakes I've made. And I realized that, relationships are about communication. Whether it be romantic, platonic, or just friendships, they're all about communication. So, talking is something I'm not good at, right? I'm not very good at talking about how I feel about things. Um, it's a it feels like a very new thing to me. Um, because I never really went into how I feel about things. Um, yeah, I never really went into how I feel about things. Uh, I just kind of accept things, I guess. So I don't really voice my opinion on a ton of stuff or really, just say how I feel. I think it a lot. Like I I think a lot about those things, but I never speak it out because sometimes I think people will judge me for what I actually say, but also like I could say some very controversial shit if I wanted to. If I had the guts to do it, but um, yeah, it's difficult to do that. Um, but again, going back to the relationship talk and just communication and all those things, I realized that again, it's a very new thing for me, or it's a new thing for me to understand, and I have to just get better at it in the future, or when the next relationship pops up. Um, again, it's just something I don't really know how to do very well. Um, like there are times where I feel uncomfortable in talking about how I feel, right? Uh, it's again, it's just not something I practice. It's not something I practice with anybody. Um, again, like I'm in my head 24/7. So, um, so when it comes to like, you know, being in the same space with another woman, you know, that's and being like in the moment, in that moment with her, uh, it's just something that don't don't fully understand. Um, you can't be in your head all the time. You can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't be in your head all the time. There's moments where you have to be present. Um, whether you're with friends or whether you're with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. Again, this is just to you guys. Again, uh, but whoever, you have to be in the moment. Because when you get in your head, like, you really, really just kind of screw yourself over. Because you think, like, things are going to go wrong. Like, just while being there. When in reality, like, you have to make actions in the moment. And that's something I failed to do. I failed at that. There were times I should have acted, and I didn't know how to act. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But that's again, I've never been in a relationship before. Um, not like, not like a a full relationship. Um, what I was in, I would say, was more like a platonic relationship that could have been a romantic one. Um, there were a lot of hints that she was giving. There were a lot of signs she was giving. There were a lot of those things that she was giving, but um, I was too caught up in my own imagination and was too caught in my own head about like what this actually is when I should have been participating in it. when I should have been the one when I should have been the one participating in it instead of being in my own head about like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? It doesn't work. So here's what I suggest for you guys and for you girls as well. You know, ladies and gentlemen, being in the moment is hard. It's very hard if you're always in your head. So I don't have a ton of advice to say, you know, because I can't just say get out your own head. Like that's very vague. That's a very vague statement, and like people would just kind of like brush that off and really wouldn't understand what that means. But I guess like being in the moment means like being present, you know, like talk, I guess, is what I want to say. Like talk, say something. Again, I'm still struggling. I'm sorry. I'm still struggling to find the right words to say, but yeah, being present and in the moment with whoever you're with is it's just something I need to work on personally. And yeah, again, I can't just tell you guys, you know, get out your own head because that's just very vague. But yeah. I guess one of the things to say is, again, talk and ask questions. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. When I was growing up, I felt like asking questions was kind of like getting shot at. Like if you ask like if you ask too many questions, you know, like someone's gonna get you or something like that. Like you shouldn't ask so many questions. So that's why I never really like asked questions. I just kind of accepted things as they were. But I think a really important thing is to ask questions. Like always ask why, always ask how, and always ask what. Those are important questions to ask. Because then you get information. You get information, and you can use that information to understand how to deal with certain situations, or how to deal with like your current situation or your current problem or whatnot. So yeah, asking questions is very important. Whether it be in relationships, whether it be at work, with friends, school, whatever, always ask questions no matter where you go, because then you'll find your answer. So that's what I've been practicing more of while I've been on my break. Just been asking more questions. Because again, like I said, I was always afraid to ask questions. Just because, again, like, I just feared that attention. Feared that attention in that moment, but also feared whatever the answer would be, or feared they wouldn't give me an answer, or feared that they would just... Yeah, I just had fear of asking questions. But again, it's something that I'm, like, now working on. Yeah. So that's one of my advices, or that's one of the best advice I could give. Ask questions. But yeah. You know, this Charizard drawing looks pretty good with the color. Actually doesn't look too bad. I might add like a little bit of highlight to it, just to make it like stand out a little bit more. But yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention. While I was on my break, I was also working on my comic. I believe I mentioned it I mentioned it in my last drawing video before I took my break. But I'm working on a comic called Miss Intern. So Miss Intern is about this young woman. She interns at this like corporate building, and this corporate building, it's just like a, I don't really know how to describe it, but basically it's just a large business, where there's all types of like communication going on when it comes to like doing invoices, filling out documents, talking to clients, things like that, right? So I don't know what the exact term is, but basically she works for corporate, and she's interning for corporate anyway. So now this setting, right? This setting where this story is taking place isn't a typical like corporate building, right? It's not a typical. It's not a typical like business environment or office environment, because there's some rules, I guess, or some. There's more to it than just doing, doing all these tasks, like all this information, right? Uh, there's a lot more to it than that. So, basically, she has to do these things, or she has to like, uh, do office work, but also one of the perks at the job, at the corporate office, is that you're able to fight, you're able to fight coworkers, fight your boss, or whatever. You can physically do that. Um, so the environment is basically a competitive environment on a on like a level of on a level of like business, but also on a level of status. So let's say, so like if this like if like basically the characters do fight each other to gain a higher like pay, a higher pay in their job or in their position, or they could or just get like a higher position. So they fight each other not only to compete for, or yeah, pretty much like they fight each other to get a higher status, a higher paying wage and whatnot. So for every fight they win, they get an increase in their salary, and they get an increase in benefits as well, and all these other things. Um, so the intern, she's new and she's getting into that environment. So my story is basically about her being in that environment and just playing it out and seeing how it goes. So I think I got inspired by a lot of different ideas. I was thinking a lot about like, I guess, like what type of fighting style would my main character be doing, and just other things like that, right? Um, I was studying a lot I was studying a lot on like the manga art style or manga, and even some comic book styles as well, and just like studying how to get the paneling right, and just the story overall. So I've been studying a little bit of that, and yeah. So that's what I've been planning, or that's what I have planned. I already have a drawing of two of the characters. I have a drawing of the main character, which I did draw in the last video that I was doing. So yeah, I do have that now, or I still have it. But then I added another one that I finished recently, or that I finished a couple months ago, and another new character. So I can show you what they look like real quick. So this is what the main character looks like. So she doesn't have an official name yet, but her name for now is Shuri. So this is what she looks like. I kind of based her a little bit off my mom, because my mom, she has curly hair, so I wanted to do something similar to that. And this is what she looks like. So this is the main character. Again, for now, her name is Shuri. But yeah, she is going to be the intern, and she's the age I have right now. It could change, but right now she's 19, so she's a young intern entering into the corporate world. So so yeah, and then the other character I have is gonna be her sensei, uh, and her sensei is Sensei P. So so basically they kind of have like this kind of mother and daughter kind of relationship. So she's teaching her how to fight, and just gain like these fighting techniques. And I have a lot of ideas for that too, and how I want to apply that, like just in how just like what type of fighting styles will be doing, because obviously I gotta like I've been thinking about adding what's it called, about making it more like add some like references to other like fighting games and other like anime and manga as well, and maybe even some comic book stuff in there as well. But just have like little moves and references from those series that I've watched. So I think it'll be really fun to do, and yeah, that's what I've been working on with the comic anyway. I do have another one, that my main comic that I'm still like that I told you guys about a while back, like a long time ago. Ozzy Strider. I'm still working on that one, but I'm taking a break on that one for now, and I want to focus on Miss Intern, because this is kind of a prototype. Like, this is something I actually want to publish. So, um, so yeah. Did my music stop? I think it stopped. Oh, this is the. I'll just go back here. I have no idea how long I've been actually recording, uh, but I know I gotta eat, so I'm not gonna like. I'll probably just get to like a certain part of this. Uh, yeah. So, um, so I don't know again like how soon I'll be. I don't know how soon I'll be recording again. Like again, recording Showdown Lives. But I want to say that the earliest I'll say is probably in June. Um, but I can't make promises on that. I'm not gonna say it's officially June, but I'll say somewhere around June is when I'll get back to actually recording again. I just need a little bit more time. I just really wanted to do this video just to check in on you guys, and just let you guys know that I'm doing okay, and just needed some time for myself. So yeah. Um, so going with the jobs that I'm still doing right now, right? Again, the shoe store job I'm working at right now. I've been working there now since September, and it's been good to me. It's been good to me. My boss is cool. Everybody's cool. Everybody's cool. Customers I've been working with. This is actually my first retail job. My first retail job. So, working with customers has been interesting. I get to see a wide variety of people, or I get to work with a wide variety of people that come into the store, and it's been good. It's been good. Again, I've been learning a lot from other people, even from my boss and from other coworkers. I've been learning quite a bit, and yeah, it's been good overall. It has been it's been pretty good so far. But there are some customers that I have worked with, as of recently actually, that definitely have kind of pissed me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Where I work at, it's a little So where I work at, it's in this place in DC called Georgetown. So Georgetown is kind of like it's, I'm not gonna say bougie, because bougie's not the right word to say, but it's a pretty rich area in DC. So I work up in that area, and yeah, I work up in that area, and the people that I work with, well, they're it's mostly white people, and they are I don't mean to be rude or anything, but they are a little entitled in just how they just kind of how I work with them, really. But also they're just a little like finicky when it comes to money. Yeah, they're a little finicky when it comes to money. But yeah, there was this one woman I was working with. Luckily, my coworker was with me at the time. And she was going to like return a pair of shoes that she got online, and she wanted to try something else on. So I got her the shoe that she wanted to try out and everything. And what I realized about people, right? What I realized is that a lot of people move very fast. Like, there are some people that are just in a rush, or the people I've worked with so far, I've learned that there are people that are in a rush. There are people that are just chill and just want to take their time finding their shoes. There are people that are like, you know, super excited and they know information about shoes that they want and everything. Or, you know, like they're interested in the scanner that we have at the store, which we have a scanner where it can scan your feet, and we get an idea about, like, you know, the information about your feet, and we can just pick out the right shoe for you and everything like that. So a lot of customers that we have come in and they try that out, and they like it a lot. They do. Now going back to the woman I was mentioning, right? So I was working with her, and you know, she did move kind of fast. She was very like fast moving. Like, she was kind of in a rush. So it kind of reflected on me, and I felt like I was in a rush. I don't know if that's what typically happens, but that's what it felt like. It felt like I was in a rush because she was in a rush, and I realized that with myself, I need to, I guess, control my own sense of self. In like when I work with customers, like, I just have to be like in my own, like, have my own mood. Like, if I'm in a chill mood, I'm not gonna like try to like fit someone else's mood. Like, I'm not gonna try and move fast like they are. I'm not gonna try and do any of that. Like, I want to stay how I am. I'm gonna be chill, and I'm just gonna help you the best I can. But I don't really like the rushing. Don't like that too much. So that's personally for me. That's just my personal take on it. Again, everyone's different. Some people like people that move fast. Some people like people that take time. Everyone's different. That's what I've learned so far, anyway. And yeah. So with this woman, right, that I was working with, she was white too. Forgot to mention that. And she was moving kind of fast. I got her shoes and everything. She liked them, and she said she was gonna buy them. And I was doing the process to return her shoes, but I actually messed up and ended up like doing an order that she did previously, like a couple months, like actually not even a couple months, like a year ago. It's because I didn't notice what the actual shoe was that she was returning back, and I messed that up. So I had to go through this whole process where I had to return the shoe that she bought, then I had to put a refund on it, then I had to like drop like $10 on it, just that way she can get $10 back on her card. And it was such a mess. It was such a mess. And the crazy part about it was that she laughed. She laughed at the whole situation. And I'm just like, bruh, like, why? But yeah, again, I gotta deal with people like that. And sometimes it's not that great. It's not that fun. But there are customers that I actually do like working with. Again, I like working with the people that are happy or that are just chill. People that are just like moving fast, you can only do so much with them. You can only do so much. So the people that are just cool and that are happy, and they're like, yeah, I like this shoe, or the people that just like know what they want already, they make my life easy. They make my life very easy, so I can get them the shoe they want, and we can move on. So yeah, I like working with people like that. They're cool. Then there was another woman I worked with, and this woman, now she was black, and she kind of had this kind of look to her, like, I don't know how to describe it, but the moment I saw this woman come into the store, like, I just had a feeling that something was wrong. I don't know why. I don't know why, but for some reason, the moment she came in through those doors, I was just like, yep, this is gonna be interesting. Anyway, she was in a rush too. She said she had to get on a flight, and she was just gonna try and get 2 pair of shoes before she left. Now, in my humble opinion, like, this is just me, right? This is just me. I'm just saying how I feel. I think that that's kind of crazy to just do all these things right before you go, or right before you're leaving. That's just me. That's just me. That's just how I feel. I'd rather do things like that when I don't have a deadline. If I'm gonna get shoes, I'm doing it on a time frame where I don't feel like I have a deadline, right? So that's just me. That's just me. But yeah. So I got her the shoes that she wanted, and then she did some very weird things, right? So a customer came in, and my coworker's working with somebody else, and I'm working with this woman. And then this customer comes in, and I greet the customer, and then the woman I'm working with gets mad at me for greeting the customer. Like, like she's saying, aren't you working with me? And I'm just like, yes. Then she says, well, you should work with me and everything, and you shouldn't, work with the other guy. Or you shouldn't work with the other guy. And he was white, but like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But she just kind of had this, like, just kind of got uppity about it, and I just couldn't understand. And another thing that was weird, about the whole scenario was that, she. So when I was asking her, or not, when I first was working with the woman, I said, how can we help you, ma'am? And she got mad at me for calling her ma'am. Like, she says, saying ma'am is very demeaning to me. It makes me feel like my age is being appropriated or some shit. And I'm just like, okay. Okay. In my head, by the way, I'm not saying this in person. But I called her ma'am like 3 or 4 times. I didn't mean to. I really didn't mean to. It just happened, right? It just happened. Because I'm just so used to saying ma'am to every woman I work with. Ma'am, miss, I just say that. That's just seems like common. That seems like common sense to me. But again, some people are weird, and it's interesting, really. Really, it's interesting working with the people. But yeah, that whole situation was just weird. And then she like tried to tell me how I'm doing my job wrong. Like she said, do you get paid by commission? And I lied and said yes. And she said, oh, well, since you get paid by commission, you should make sure that you're working with everybody, or working with, the customer that you're with, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, damn, chill the fuck out. I'm working with you. Like, damn. People, man. People are very interesting. People are very interesting in their own interesting ways. Now I might get some hate on this. I probably will, but like, damn, how do I say this in a way that doesn't sound like, you know what? Fuck it, whatever. So since I've been working with a lot of white customers, I've started to like understand some of the dialect that they say. Like I hear a lot of them say things like, "Oh, I just want a color that's bright," or something like, "Oh, I don't like black," or something like that for the shoes that they want, like the colors and everything. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the shoes we have at our store, we don't have like a ton of like colors really in stock. Our colors aren't really the best at the moment, and that's more like a production thing, I think. But it's just very weird. I don't really want to get more into the situation, but basically, we just want to have a lot of things or a lot of different options. We have the shoe, we just want to have many options and colors for the shoes. So there's that. And then there's some of them that say, "Oh, I want a color that's fun," or like, "Oh, don't you think this color looks fun?" And I'm just like, "What the fuck does that mean? What does that shit mean? Like, what does that mean when they say, 'Oh, this is fun. I like this color'? Like, what the fuck? What's that supposed to mean? What does fun mean to them? You know? Uh, Man. I really do like white people. I think they're funny. I think they're very funny. I think they're very funny. Um, but they can also be pretty, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but you probably know what I mean. Um, Privileged, yes. Privileged. But yeah. It's just, it's just funny, really. Working like that or being in that environment. Because now I'm actually like picking up all these things and just realizing how different everyone is. But yeah. I have no idea how long I've been recording. 52 minutes. Wow, really? I thought I was recording for an hour, for over an hour. 52 minutes isn't that bad. Okay. Um, well, once I'm finished with Charizard's Claw, at least with this one, I'll probably just end the video. Um, yeah, I'll probably just end the video after this. But yeah, again, like I said, I'm doing fine. For you guys, if you guys were again curious about how I was doing, I'm doing okay. Um, Again, like I said, I'm just really adjusting to things and just how life has been going right now. Um, that's really what it is right now. Um, like I really don't want to bring this topic back up, but ever since I finished college, I just kind of felt lost, really, in where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing, where I'm supposed to be going. So I've just felt lost in what I need to be doing, and I realized that no one's really gonna tell you what to do, right? No one's really gonna tell you what to do. You have to be the one to make decisions on what you should do. People can give you suggestions. They can suggest what you should do or what you can do, but they can't tell you what you should do. Um, if you get what I'm saying, they can't tell you what you should do. They can give you suggestions, but not everyone's gonna really guide you to what you need to do and where you need to be going. You got to be the one to do that yourself. So that's what I'm starting to realize now about myself, and just about people in general. But definitely more about myself. So I have to be the one to do things. I mean, there are things I can't always do by myself. Like, I realize that asking for help is important too, because you don't want to look like, because I mean you're not gonna know everything, right? You're just not. Not everyone's gonna know everything. So there's no harm in asking for help. So if you ever feel like you're stuck, it's okay to ask for help. So that's just what I really want to say about that. Alright. Alright, so for now, I think that's going to be it for this video. Again, this was really just a check-in, just to see how you guys are doing and just what have you guys been up to. So again, let me know in the comments below how you guys have been over these past couple months. And yeah, again, I don't know, I mean, again, for the first Showdown Live that I'll do after getting back, it'll probably be, like I said, sometime in June, more than likely, so just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, so that's gonna be that. Hope you all enjoyed my talk and just, you know, just a quick update. Actually, this wasn't really an update. This is more like a podcast. But yeah,